listening to Retro Station, a retro game podcast. I'm actually talking to you through a Game Gear that just got new batteries. And, oh, damn, I've already drained them complete.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Retro Station, the retro game podcast. I'm David.
I'm Hilary.
I'm Steven.
And today we're going to be talking about Tales Adventure on the Game Gear. But before we get to that, what have you all been up to? Hilary?
This week was a very busy and stressful week, so I did not have a chance to play very many games. I played a few games on my phone, but that between that and playing this week's game a little bit, that's about all I did. I did get a new handheld system, and so there's a few games that I was playing that I'm basically starting over because I have a new handheld now. So,
what handheld did you get?
Yeah,
So, they're all like, they don't have cool names. Like a lot. It's the Ambernick RG406V. So it's like a vertical, kind of like a, Game Boy.
It looks very much like the classic Game Boy.
Yeah, but bigger. It has sticks.
Yeah.
Emulator thing, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it works on a Android background.
Yeah, and it does all the way up through PS3 and GameCube. Might be able to do some light Switch. We haven't tried that. Not that we ever recommend anyone emulate Switch. Please don't sue us, Nintendo. Thank you. Okay.
I wouldn't even know how to get those things.
What about you, Steve? What have you been doing?
Building a shed.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Help us build our shed.
Yeah.
And
he's a hero.
So it's also been a pretty busy week. Between that, me starting jiu-jitsu, and then getting the kids ready to go back to school. So I didn't play a lot of games. I did get a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 time in. Just got a few missions done in that. I played the game for this week. And then I played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden for the regular Nintendo. And then I played a little bit of Bart versus Space Mutants.
Oh boy, I went
for
that.
Regular Nintendo. I played it before. I don't think I ever made it past the first level, and I'm still consistent on that. I didn't put a lot of time into it. You start with like 2 lives, and then you have to go collect spray cans because now when I was younger, this was for the regular Nintendo is probably around the time where I was learning to read.
Right.
So I didn't even pay attention to like the words. So I probably totally missed what I was supposed to do in a while back. But apparently you have to get like a spray can, and the goal of the enemies, the mutants, is to steal everything in town, specifically that town, because everything that's purple in that town, if they steal it, they'll rule the world or something.
That's how you do it,
yeah. So you have to take your spray can. I don't know why this is like put on like a 10-year-old kid or however old Bart is.
Yeah.
And you have to spray everything red that's purple. And while avoiding like mutants that are jumping up and down in your way. And you also get different items. So you have X-ray vision glasses because you have to also find the people that are aliens disguised as people. You get coins, so coins you can buy more items. You can also prank call Mo because that's hilarious.
That's good.
And then the spray can. That's about it. And you get 2. It's not 2 lives. It's like 2 hits, and so you reset often. So I played a little bit of that, and then phone games. I think I sent to you guys. What was it called? Sandblast.
Yeah.
Where it's like Tetris, but as it hits the ground, it turns into like a pile of sand. So depending on where you put it on the screen, and I assume how high up is how when it hits, it spreads out, and then you just try to get all of one color sand across the thing, and it'll score for you.
Right on.
Yeah.
I downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to try it. I was hoping to do it before we did this, but life. That reminds me, it's approximately 862 degrees in this room, so if you do hear a hum, that's the fan. I'm going to try to edit that out, but if you can hear it, it's so we don't die. So hopefully you can be understanding of that. I played, other than, of course, the game that we're playing, a couple games, but only just like a little bit of each one. I played a game called Shocks on the PS2, which is a rally racing game. Weirdly, I like rally racing, even though much like golf, I don't care about rally racing at all. But this is a really arcade one. It's by the EA Sports Big, so it's the same people that did SSX. So it's kind of a little bit more over the top than a straight sports game of any kind. But it was pretty fun. I'll probably go back to it and play some more. The other game I played, this was not available in the US. It's on the PSP, but there was a fan translation, and I just wanted to see what it's called. It's called, I may butcher this pronunciation, Final Fantasy Reishiki. And in the little video I saw, it looked almost like a weird, like, Star Fox-like shooter, because he was in some kind of little, I don't know, plane or flying device and shooting at things. And I was like, okay, well, that's an odd Final Fantasy. That's not really what it is for the most part. I don't know if I'll keep playing it, because it's like a lot of their newer ones where it's very action-orientated. But I will say this for this game, and I'm not really spoiling anything, because I've just barely, I've watched like the opening cinematics and gotten a little bit into the first section. This game's really freaking dark. Like, dark. Like, you are not big heroes. You're cadets in the military. It's very, like, military themed. I think you get up to, it's either 8 or 12. I don't know why it's that spread a number. It's like a multiple of 4 people in your little cadet team. And you can kind of switch them out of your team. And in between missions, there's like areas kind of like Persona where you have a certain amount of time in the day, and you can go and you can talk to other people, or there's other activities your character can do. But again, I'm not trying to spoil anything. This is opening cinematic. There's a lot of blood, which I don't know if I've ever seen a lot of blood in a Final Fantasy. And specifically, there is a dying, bloody chocobo. I definitely have not seen that in a Final Fantasy game. It's dark. It's grim. And that's not what I was expecting. So between that and it being very action, I don't know if I'll keep playing it. It seems good. Like, it seems well done. And it's very pretty for a PSP game. And it did get released out here as Final Fantasy Type 0 on like PS4 and maybe a couple other consoles. So I don't know how the fan translation compares to that. The controls are really complicated. Like, it just bombards you with information about how you do this and that. And I was like, oh God, I wanted to look up like some kind of thing I could just glance at, because I was not going to remember it. And what I found out is that's really the point, because you are just a cadet in a really severe situation. They want you to feel overwhelmed right away. When you try to first leave your area and get in fights, like, you're probably going to get your butt kicked for a while, because you're not a big hero. So it's interesting that they're taking that kind of take on a Final Fantasy game. So very odd, but interesting. May or may not be for me. One thing, getting kind of into news-ish stuff. This is going to sound unrelated. I swear to God, I'm going to bring this back. So one of the podcasts don't shake your head at me. One of the podcasts I listen to is called Last Podcast on the Left. And they've been doing, go with me on this. They've been doing a series called, it was the Kentucky Vampire Killings or something like that.
Yeah.
It's this group of kids who play Vampire the Masquerade, the live action role-playing version. One person got way too into it, and then like sucked a bunch of other people into his little group. And
Is that play on words or
on accident? I started saying it. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a vampire." Anyway, long story short, some people died. So this is a 3-part series. Okay, each episode maybe like hour and a half, and the whole time I was thinking like, "Damn, I'd like to play Vampire the Masquerade. It's a great game." I kept thinking that. And I was like, "Oh wait, I remember the computer game Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and they're coming out with a new one, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which looks very pretty, but it's been in development for like 6 years, which may or may not be concerning. Also, everyone's really mad at them right now, because in the first game, I think all the vampire clans from that game were there, and you made your own character. In this one, it has 4, but then on day 1, it has 2 clans stuck behind a paywall. So if you want to play as one of those 2 clans, you have to buy whatever special edition, and it's like $90. And guess whose favorite clan is in that extra thing? That's right, that's me. So unless I see a really great deal on like Fanatical or something like that, I'm probably not going to get it for a good long time. But it made me look into this game more, and I'm like, dang it. Now I'm sad, because it's like, well, I'm not shelling out $90 for a game that I'm... Yeah.
$90.
Yeah.
I've never played Vampire Masquerade or a video game of the sort. I do know some of it. I've listened to, because I used to watch Critical Role and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that they've I think them specifically have done a Vampire Masquerade like one shot, so I know a little bit about it. Like it's very modern. It's modern day vampire D&D. Essentially, if you were gonna try to piss a bunch of people off at once. Is the game like the role play?
It's not
as like. Would you like? Baldur's Gate 3 is to D&D like the game Vampire Masquerade is to like the...
Not quite. I wouldn't say so because it's more action orientated. I think it's okay. The first one came out like over 20 years ago, so bear with me. But I think you do have like stats and leveling and that sort of thing. But it's not really truly following the same rules, although like the different clans have their different abilities. So like the one I like that I would have to pay a lot more for is the La Sombra, and they've got all these cool shadow abilities where you can like step into one shadow and come out of another one and all sorts of weird stuff like that. So all of that is very much in line with it, and the kind of characters you interact with and how they interact with you will vary depending on what clan you're in. In the first game, one of the talking about this is Vampire the Masquerade talk. It's called the Malkavians, and they're all legitimately insane. So if you play that character in the first one, or character from that clan, the whole time like you'll get like voices whispered to you because you're cuckoo. So it does neat things like that. But it's not like if you play the computer game, you're not going to have a great sense of how the tabletop game is played. It's just not
Tabletop
tabletop role playing as opposed to computer role playing. You will not be able to learn that from the computer game, really. But anyway, so people are mad. I'm not mad because I wasn't sure I was going to buy it anyway, but it does make me sad that if I wanted to buy it.
So is that $90 on top of the cost of the game? Or the game?
No. So if you, the base game is probably 60 or 70, but if you want to play as those two clans, it's an additional amount. And I think if you buy it
both together would be
together would be 90. Okay. Unless they charge it.
I thought it was like a $90 DLC.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
No, sorry, I guess I wasn't clear. But no, that would be horrifying. But even still, when you compare it to what you could do in the first game, it seems like an awful big ask. And I realize development is much harder these days, but people are getting a little ragey online about it. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes up. Maybe they'll figure out something nicer to do. We'll see.
The game I knew off the top of my head that will probably be releasing right around the time that this comes out, or probably just after, is Silksong, Hollow Knight sequel. So that's an exciting one to look forward to. I do have a list of other ones, some that I don't know. Do you just want me to go through the whole list, or one that I think might be good?
Yeah, could you list every single game that's coming out alphabetically?
It's only September, and they will be alphabetical.
Right, could you just go ahead and just list...
Oh, no, sorry. So...
I'm making a visual joke, which is awesome on a podcast. Don't worry about it.
Hirogami is coming out September 3rd for PlayStation 5. Never heard of it. Hell is Us, September 4th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Never heard of it. Hollow Knight Silksong for PS5, Switch, Xbox, and PC. I do have Hollow Knight. I have not beaten it. I've gotten fairly far. Fun game, Metroidvania style game.
I played it not gone far, but it is fun. I like it.
Indie game. I'm curious to see the price of this one, if it'll still roughly be the same as the first one, or if it's going to go up in price. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of the Giants expansion. It's a long one.
I've heard
September 4th.
I've heard the base game's good. I don't have any idea how it even plays or anything, but I've heard it's all right.
Star Wars Outlaws, September 4th for the Switch 2. I think that's a remake, right?
Yeah.
Chronos: The New Dawn, September 5th for all of them. PS5, Switch 2, Xbox, PC.
It looks neat. I hope it is neat.
Demon X Machina, Titanic Scion, September 5th. Everybody's Golf, Hot Shots, September 5th.
That's going to be amazing.
Baby Steps, September 8th. Never heard of it. Garfield Kart 2, All You Can Drift, is September 10th. I didn't even know there was a first one.
There are actually two. I got them in blind bundles. I've not tried them.
There's two, but this one's number 2.
Yeah. One didn't deserve a number. I don't know why.
Dead Reset, September 11th.
Nope.
Borderlands 4, September 12th. Is that a new one? No, that's
No, that's new.
That's new?
Yeah, I heard it's going to be very expensive
Huh.
if you want everything.
Oh, like
They probably put
DLCs
some
and stuff.
plans behind some paywall.
NHL 26. Same favorite game. Slight upgrades, probably.
National.
Hockey League.
Oh, I thought I was talking about horses.
No.
No, okay.
Lego Voyagers, September 15th. The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, first chapter,
Okay,
September 19th. Do you know that one?
Yes. So the Trails series is actually a pretty big, popular series. I had the first one on PSP, and that's a remake of the first one.
Interesting.
They're big. Like,
It's a JRPG?
so the first one is like that one.
Turn-based?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I believe. That first one is like 40 hours. That's the shortest of them. There's one that's over 100. But I've not played enough to like have a strong opinion. I just know that the people who like them really, really like them. So there's probably something there. But
Dying Light, The Beast,
Okay.
September 19th. Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, September 19th. That sounds familiar, but
I don't know.
Silent Hill F, September 25th.
That looks so cool.
Is that a new one?
Yeah, it's a new one and it looks messed up.
Good messed up. You like
Yes.
horror, you like horror games.
Yes,
Speaking of which, we'll probably be getting to horror
There-
games pretty soon.
there are things
With
that
the
move in very disturbing ways in that game.
Sonic Racing Crossworld, September 25th.
Oh, we know someone
Yep.
very excited about that one.
Your kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's another reason I can't buy Vampire to buy that thing. It's okay.
It's
And
for the
I've heard
regular
it's coming
Switch.
out
It's not for
too,
the
so-
Switch too. That's wild. Atelier Reslorania, The Red Alchemist, and The White Guardian, September 26th. EA Sports FC 26 is September 26th.
What is FC?
FC is football, I think. Sorry, soccer.
Soccer. Yeah.
Soccer.
I'm surprised I called it football. Pac-Man World 2 Repack, September 26th. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, September 30th. Lego Party, September 30th. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, with a K, September 30th. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny, September 30th. I think my wallet's going to be pretty safe in the month of September.
I'm in danger. I'm not really danger. I will probably, like Hilary said, our daughter's birthday's that month and she wants that racing game so much. So if I'm buying any of that, it's going to be the racer, and everything else I will wait for sales. Even though they might be worth the price, so I'm still going to wait for sales. So.
And one that doesn't seem like news now, but will be when this comes out, October 16th is the new Pokemon game for Switch and Switch 2.
I did not even know that was coming.
So that's the news that I know of.
Nice.
Yep.
You got anything?
Not anything to add.
Yeah. You're busy. You're too busy looking. It's kind of weird. But, oh, there are a couple things. Or one thing. They're going to be doing God, I hope this wasn't hoax, or I'm gonna look really stupid. They're doing a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica, which was the one that came to the Dreamcast and later to the PS2. I don't know if it came to GameCube. It was the first Resident Evil that had fully 3D environments instead of the pre-rendered backgrounds. It's one of the harder ones, but I'm curious to see. I want to see how that looks, and if they maybe adjust that difficulty down a little bit would be kind of cool. But it was good. I say it was really hard. I didn't get that far to even know about like the hardest part. Just some kind of fight on a plane towards the end that is ridiculous, and I got nowhere near any plane. So shows how good I am at these games. I'm not good at these games. So, but I think it's neat. Hopefully it'll be cool. They've done a good job with a lot of those remakes. So speaking of planes, you know who flies a plane? Tails. Tails the fox. Friend of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not in this game.
Not in this game, he does not. But in the future, but now the past. The future, in this game, maybe, it's up in the air, like a plane. He does not. So, theoretically, this takes place before Tails met Sonic. There's some argument about that. But there you go. So this was developed by Aspect and published by Sega in 1995. It was out in September in Japan, October in Europe, and then in North America in November. Then it had re-releases later, so it was an unlockable in Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube in 2003. It was part of the Sonic Gems collection in 2005 for PS2 and GameCube. It was on the 3DS eShop in 2013. And then it was released for just about everything in Sonic Origins Plus in 2023. So this game has popped back up quite a lot.
Was it on the regular, did you say?
The regular
Sega Genesis? Or was it just the Sega Game Gear?
Just the Game Gear.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there weren't any solo Tails games. I don't know if there were any other ones other than this one. There is one where he's flying a plane on the Game Gear. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, and I think it stayed in Japan. But this came out really towards the end of the Game Gear's life cycle. Like, it was really winding down by now. So it was one of the last big games that, big, I don't know. I don't know if it was big at the time, but, you know, it was a Sega game. The basic idea is that he's defending Coco Island from the Cuckoo Army. The Cuckoo Army doesn't show up ever again in Sonic lore, I don't believe. Unless I heard wrong, but they don't show up again ever. But they're like birds. Weird green birds. It's a Metroidvania game, which is much more rare at this time, because this is, you know, Game Gear. It is actually the same internal power and system as a Master System. It's just at a lower resolution. So this is still a relatively new concept at the time. You know, Metroid had done it. Castlevania had not yet done it, despite them being called Metroidvanias. It should probably, I think they should maybe be called like Tailroids. Sounds gross.
I don't like that.
I don't like that. But Tails is getting shafted by Castlevania here. But it's not really one continuous world. Like, you can't go from one level that streams directly to another, but there's like a hub section that you can go back to and go back to other levels and unlock areas that you couldn't before because you've gotten, you know, a power-up at a different level. So you're going to be traveling back and forth a lot in this and unlocking new areas with items that you get. So in that sense, it's a Metroidvania. There are actually 26 items to collect in this game, which is quite a lot, again, for like basically an 8-bit game. Some of them are for you specifically. Some of them are for your little submarine that you have some water levels in. And when you go on a mission, you can only be equipped with 4 of them. So when you go to a new level, you have to decide which ones you want to take with you. You might find that to get past certain areas, you might need a certain loadout. And hopefully you've kind of planned ahead so you don't get to where you need to get ahead and you don't have the things you need. So that's a limiting factor, so you're not having to shuffle through like a million items every time, but you do have to kind of know what you need going in. Some of the items are Chaos Emeralds, which will increase his base health as well as give him more flight time because he can do his tail spinny thing. And I mean, that's really the basic gist. You do start with bombs you can throw at your enemies and that tail flight thing. Those are basically your first abilities, and you just keep getting more as you go on. All right, so I got somewhere between half and 2/3 of the way through this game. How did you guys do?
I did about the same.
I didn't get past the first level. Like, I was not in a good headspace to play this kind of game this week, so part of it too, I don't think I've mentioned on this channel before, but I'm dyslexic, so sometimes I get my left and rights confused, and so I get that way I'm playing video games that can translate to confusing my buttons. And that was happening a lot with me in this game, and so I was starting to get super frustrated because I would jump when I meant to throw a bomb or vice versa. And then I got to one point where there was some wind blowing, so you had to go down. And then I was going over, and it looked like it was like a hidden wall where you're supposed to jump your way through. And then I was jumping up, and then there was nowhere else for me to jump. And I couldn't, and you can't jump back down. And so I was just stuck. And I'm like, okay, I'm done.
The wind part was pretty confusing. You can just regular jump over it, and you have to catch onto it. But yeah, it seems like something that you need to fly. But then the wind pushes you back. And
and I can see if you're having a stressful week, because this is it's a lot less straightforward than like Sonic, right?
Yeah.
Sonic, you're going from left to right. You basically have to get to the end, whatever path you take. This one, there's a lot of, I don't know if it's I guess it is kind of puzzle solving, where you're trying to figure out what you need to do to get to certain areas. And some areas, like you see, like in other Metroidvanias, you may not even know how you could possibly do it yet because you don't have the right power up. So
there's one power up in the first level that you can't even get until you get to level 2.
Yeah.
And I still don't even know how to get into that space, but I know that you use the little robot.
Yeah.
That's all I know, because that's what I can see.
Yeah, you do get a little remote control robot, and he can get into the small spaces, and he can scout the level for you because he can't take damage, which is nice. And he actually becomes your little submarine, so you don't get the submarine thing until you get that robot either. But this is way more slow paced than a Sonic game.
Mhm.
It is a slow exploration.
You can tell he hasn't met Sonic yet because he walks everywhere.
Yeah, and he walks like his head like tilted from side to side, like he's just a little, I don't know, a little stroll.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Okay, so there's fan theories or fan ideas around this game, and some people call this Metal Gear Tales because he's going, he's throwing bombs, he's setting traps, he's invading or sneaking his way into military bases essentially. There's no stealth though, but this is basically Tales at war. Like he is literally stopping an invading army and throwing bombs initially to do it. Like Tales is hardcore, man. Like
Do
who
you
knew?
meet with anybody else like of your kind, or it just seems like
No.
you versus the world
Yeah.
Yeah,
or the island or whatever?
yeah. You don't really. I mean, I think in the opening cinematic there was like a bird hanging around or something.
Yeah, there's like 3 small bluebirds, but
Yeah, I didn't really catch much of a story.
Yeah.
Um,
It's there, but it's not really told in the game. It's like one of those things where you have to read the instructions, or like those are the bad guys and they've shown up, and now you gotta deal with them. Basically.
Right. I think I made it to about level 3, the one after the volcano level. And the volcano level was super hard for me. And then I kind of gave up on it for a while, came back, tried to play it for a bit, kind of got to the same place because, of course, I didn't take pictures of the password that I had. So, which was, 4 times 4, like 16
Yeah.
things long.
Yeah, they're not messing around with their passwords.
No, I think it's because like each upgrade and each level has to do with something. So actually earlier today I wanted to test a little bit of every level. So I found the ultimate password that unlocks everything and got to try out a few of the different levels that I didn't make it to and try out some of the items as well. It was a tough game,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. It was a short game. I can tell you that how long to beat. This must be not speedrunning for sure. It says main story 4.5 and then completionist 5 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not speedrunning.
yeah.
No, I think there's only I felt like each level had maybe a couple different segments to it to move on. And then there were maybe 10 total levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Just enough to burn out your C batteries.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah. I don't know how you do this with the actual Game Gear unless you have it plugged to the wall. I couldn't, because unless you know where to go, it's going to take you a bit to figure out and try things,
Right.
which is not unusual for a Metroidvania game. But like you talked about segments, right? So like you'll have this level and it'll be like the volcano level, right? And there's a whole bunch of places you can go in there, and then you'll reach like an end part of that, and then you'll go to like another segment which is still the volcano level, but it's a whole new set of things you have to do. These are a lot bigger areas than if you played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you go to an area and maybe it's like a couple stories tall, but you're really just trying to get up there, or maybe it's a hallway or just a room. The segments usually are not that big in those games, and it's pretty obvious where you have to go. Not so in this. Like each segment is pretty big. There's not really like a map per se, which you may not need one except for like the underwater levels with the
Oh my goodness.
the submarine. Like there's areas that I would just assume, oh, that's just the top of the screen. I didn't know I could go up until I watched someone play through it in certain areas. So there's a lot of things that would have helped me, like, oh yeah, okay, I have to go up somewhere on this thing to get to where I'm going. Other than that, you just have to kind of remember, which, you know, maybe you're good at and maybe you're not. But I'm so used to all those games having some kind of a map system so you can kind of tell where you've been.
Right.
That'd be so nice to have.
Oh, there were so many times where I'd go one way and then go around and like, I swear I've been here before. And then I'd go a different way and it'd take me around and I'm like, now I know I've been here before. And speaking of not knowing where to go, I'm throwing bombs at walls because
Yeah.
you can't tell the difference between a regular wall and a wall that can blow up.
Yeah.
Or you can just walk behind.
Yeah.
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 Or fall through. There's
Yeah.
like sections that you can go in.
Yeah. I was okay with the areas that the first bomb could blow up, but I watched a playthrough, and your bombs can get upgraded over time. There are some areas that they were blowing up. I'm like, that just looked like every other spot. Like I would have had no idea that I had to use a bomb there unless I just happened to throw it. I would have never, ever found that on purpose because there was no differentiation. And when you're talking about going through walls, like some of the places I got stuck, it's because I didn't realize, I could just walk through here. It's not always clear. Some places they make it clear, but a lot of times not so much. It's really
There was one time that I thought I was soft locked inside the game until I accidentally threw a bomb. And it was, you have to imagine it was a tunnel that went down, but it had 2 rock capping it. And almost like you'd find on like a Mario game with a tube.
right.
But it just looks like the rocks that disappear, the rocks that blow up, and the rocks that you can just stand on all kind of look the same.
Yeah.
And very, very difficult to differentiate.
I give it a little bit of leeway on that just because it's an 8-bit system. I understand they can only do so many different textures and whatnot. I know they're somewhat limited, but damn, like maybe just choose to not have that much hidden stuff. Just make this an obvious open hallway. Like just clear it out and don't, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't all have to be secrets. Like you can tone it down a little bit and have some areas like, this is clearly an area I can walk. And you don't have to add new textures, just have to be the same as everything else.
I swear some secret didn't give you anything. And some secrets were like, not even secrets. They were like, you had to find it to move on.
Right.
Yeah.
And because it was so big, even like top to bottom, there were times where you would jump down and fall in there were no pits, but there were spikes and there was lava and there was enemies, and it was hard to you can't, while you're falling down, you can hit A, I guess, and try to fly up a little bit, but you'd still do this thing where if you jump and then try to hit A or up A or whatever, you would still fall a little bit before you actually caught your tails. And so
yeah, I mean that's realistic, but you're also a talking fox, so I mean you don't have to be that realistic. Right. There were, I think, granted, again, you can use your flight thing, but if you're not thinking about that, there are a lot of basically blind jumps. Sometimes you could see approaching that area that there's a thing there, but sometimes no, and you're just like, I assume if I fall here or jump here, it's gonna be okay. And sometimes it is, or sometimes you hit lava, but there's land nearby so you can get out of it, unless, of course, you're low enough on health to kill you. But that wasn't a rare thing to come across a jump where it's like, I hope that this is taking me somewhere useful, because I don't freaking know.
Or there's an enemy right there, too, and so the enemy, hits you into the pit or whatever.
Yeah.
My favorite, there's one part of the level where, and this was after I unlocked a bunch of stuff, so I had, max flight and 90 lives, I think it was. And speaking of which, getting soft locked on something when you have 90 lives is hard to.
You can't even.
Because I was like, no. I was like, there's no button to push. If you want to restart a level or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd have to dial 90 times. Yeah. But I flew up, and then you get to a point where there's these bats, and they kind of do a low swoop, and they keep going as long as you're moving near them. And so I flew up, and I try to land on a post, but it flies down, hits me. I fall all the way down, and then I usually fall either into another enemy or onto a spike. And when it happens when you don't have that much lives, or when you get hit, you do this big fallback thing, kind of like Sonic does, and you lose 1 coin. But then you can't really recover.
Yeah.
So you get a brief invincibility time, but if you land in lava or you land on a spike, it not enough time to get out of that.
Yeah.
So there'd been times where I'd game over because I'd get hit, fall, get hit, fall, get hit.
Yeah. Now there is an item you can get. I never got this far. There's an item you can get later that will let you just teleport out of your level that you're in, which is nice. Although theoretically you shouldn't ever truly need that. Like, you shouldn't. I don't know if there's ever a way to like fully get soft locked. Like, I thought I was stuck in an area too, and I kept going around in this relatively small circle. I'm like, I can't get out of here. And I eventually looked up a video, and there was a way, but it's not always clear, and that could be real frustrating if you get in this area where it's like, I can't get out, and I can't even die to like get myself kicked out of this level. So it's can be a little bit rough.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun game, but it's definitely one that you'll probably need a manual for.
Mhm.
Yeah, it helps a lot because you don't. If nothing else, it shows you the items that you can get, so you can have an idea of whether something is going to be accessible or what you might need. That is only so helpful because you can't necessarily get to the thing until you're able to, whatever that takes. But it does help to have the manual just so you know what some of the stuff does. Like, I got this, I want to say it was called Shock, but I don't think that's right. But it was a little lightning bolt thing, and I had no idea. I thought that was something the Tails could do, but it was actually for the submarine, and I didn't realize that until I got back from the base. And even then, I'm like, I don't know what this does. Does it shoot a lightning bolt out? And like, it's not what it does, but it's not really clear. And when you're trying to go into a level and you have to pick your items, if you're not totally sure what it's going to do, that's a little tricky, I think.
Oh, there was another point where, speaking of getting confused with the buttons, right? So you hit A to jump. You hit A again, you'll start propelling. And obviously you're a limited propel time. You hit A again, you stop propelling. Well, I was at a point where there was a shallow bit of water, a mouse in that water. How? Don't ask me. He would lay a little bomb. That didn't hurt him, didn't hurt the blocks, didn't hurt whatever, right? I landed in the water, got hit by him. And then I tried to jump out of the water, but I must have been pressing too fast because I'd like jump, tails, stop, and then like hit him again.
Yeah.
And when you hit the water or you hit an enemy, it glitches you just enough that you can't like throw a bomb or do your hammer or do like attack. And when you're in the air, you can't really attack either, except if you have a bomb, you can drop it. If you regular jump, you can hammer, but I don't think the hammer is necessarily open walls sometimes.
It seems like it only hurts the same things that the bombs do, and it's only if they're ahead of you. The only use I found for the hammer is for those things like the bats that have like weird movement patterns. That'll pretty much hit anything that gets close to you as long as you're facing the right way, so it's easier to hit them with a bomb, but other than that,
I had a few game overs on that specific point where I like couldn't keep in the air long enough to avoid the stupid mouse in the water.
Yeah.
The Game Gear only has the same amount of buttons as a SNES, not an SNES, an NES controller or Game Boy controller. So it has your D-pad. I don't know if it is AB. Is it AB?
I think so.
Probably. And start select. So I didn't realize that because I always thought, because it was a chunky controller, that maybe it had more until I looked it up. But I was like, why is it so annoying to change your abilities?
Yeah.
So one button is jump, one button has to do with your items. Obviously, D-pad is move. You have to push start. You have to pause the game and then rotate through your item that you want before you get to, which is very annoying when you like jump to another scene, see a bat, and you know like, oh, I'm holding my bomb, that might or might not hit it. The bat's definitely going to hit me. I need my hammer. And, like, you have to pause.
Right. Yeah.
I just felt like that was a little inconvenient.
Yeah. I found out that that's how you did it completely on accident because I couldn't figure out either. I was like, is it select? Do I hit like what? Like,
I don't like. Why wasn't it select?
I don't know.
They could have done.
Was there a
select.
start and select on the game?
Select
Game Gear?
didn't do anything on my controller.
No, not either. So I didn't have a Game Gear. I don't know if it even had the select button or not. But yeah.
Oh, you're asking on the Game Gear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea. But yeah, it's not the easiest. I mean, granted, it's at least not a very fast-paced game, so it's less of an issue than it would be if it was. But yeah, it's not super intuitive. I wish there was some easier way to pull it off.
The only boss that I really remember is like the first one.
Looks like it just had the start.
Oh, it just has the start. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, on the other side, does it have? No.
Oh, weird.
Interesting.
Crazy.
That's probably why it was
Yeah, they might have
the
been
only
set
other
with that,
button
I
they
guess.
had.
I was trying to fight a boss. There's this one that you're going up this long, this tall thing where you're jumping from platform to platform, and he'll fly up, and then he'll like dive bomb wherever you're at the time where he decides to dive bomb. And I was trying to defeat this thing, and I couldn't do it. I'm like, I could Google this, but it's so much easier. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT, hey, how do you do this? And it said, hey, all you got to do is hit this boss 8 times with your bomb while it's dive bombing. I'm like, oh, I feel like I might have done that, but okay, I'll do that. Very hard to hit with a bomb that you're throwing, but you get these, not time bombs you can set off. You put it down wherever it lands. You can hit the button again and it'll blow up. So I just set it down where I was, and then when he came dive bombing, I'd let him hit it. And I did that so many times, like, this is not working. And then it thought I could, like, ChatGPT said, oh, you could just drop a regular bomb, too. It doesn't have to be one of those. And I'm like, I don't think I can. Lesson is, don't use ChatGPT for tips on this particular game. It doesn't know what you're capable of. It doesn't know what the enemies are capable of, and it doesn't know what you have to do to beat them. You don't even fight that. You just have to keep going up. You just go up, 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 and eventually he gets tired, gives you a thing, and leaves. I don't know why. But, yeah, it was not obvious. Because you get to an area and think, oh, this is the top of the spot. Well, then you can fly. You can fly, and you have unlimited flight here for no reason, just because. So, yeah, and that's what you have to do. Then you have to fly up and avoid them. And that's how... Not obvious. They could have had... I mean, it's a video game. Have a little flashing arrow. Like, keep going. Yeah. That would have been fine. I would have been like, oh, okay. I'm still going upwards. Got it.
A map could have been helpful. A lot of things could have been helpful, I think, in this game.
Yeah. And again, could just be the limitations of the hardware. It's not a super powerful system. But some of the stuff doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to do. I'm not a programmer. I don't know, but some of it doesn't like it.
Were there sequels to this game?
No.
Do you know?
No,
Might be a test, too.
Yeah, it's just this and the plane game, whatever it was called. I knew that game yesterday. I knew what it was called. I can't remember now. But that's
Tailspin or something.
Yeah. But no, they I don't think they've done another solo Tales game since the Game Gear either. But yeah, no, it's just this. Did you guys like the design of the enemies? Like, I thought some of them were kind of cool. I mean,
I guess. The thing I did not like about the enemies was you had to, like, hit them very specifically.
Yeah.
With the bomb. Mm-hmm. And some of them were in, like, tight spaces where if you tried to throw a bomb overhead, it would hit the top of the rocks, so you had to, like, duck and chuck. And their thing would just almost always hit you if you didn't get it off quick enough.
Yeah.
And some of them had, like, flames, some bombs.
Yeah.
Some of them would do both, too. Like, they would start off with flame, and then they would...
Okay, so there's another thing, too, that I would have never known it was possible had I not watched the video. So later on you get an upgrade, or an upgraded type of bomb, and I cannot remember what it's called, but you throw it, it doesn't go as far as your regular one, but then it has this, like, stream of, like, fire that shoots up on the ground for a little while. It's like a little trail of it. And there's an area where there are these beehives, right? And it'll shoot out, like, 2 bees at a time, and they just kind of, like, fly around in, like, an infinity symbol, basically. But if you kill one, it just pops out another one, and it'll do that forever. So you have to destroy the hive if you want them to stop coming out. And sometimes you need to because they're right in the way of a jump. If you destroy the hive, there's like a queen bee. And this queen bee will pursue you through the entire level. You can get her off screen, it doesn't matter. She will find you. And she's fast, and good luck with a bomb. You better have your hammer, but that's not really the most useful item, so you probably don't. But that bomb I'm telling you about, it only goes like... I can't say an inch because it depends on the size of your screen. About as high as Tails is, right? The fire that goes up. So you think, oh, the fire must have to hit the bad guys. No. That hits everything upwards. Everything. So the tree, the hive could be like several Tailses above that fire, but you throw it and it destroys it. Then you throw it again and it kills the queen. Easy. But I had no idea. That queen was kicking my butt every time, but I had to do it because I couldn't get past her because there would be spikes. Like, they'd be flying over spikes in front of the area I had to jump to. So, like, unless my timing is just, like, amazing, there's no way. There's no way. I had to get rid of the hive in some spots. Good Lord.
So, I don't know if you guys played it on handheld or big screen or what. I played on both. Mm-hmm. I preferred it on handheld. It made the graphics a little tighter, a little more like the original, I guess. So I played on the Steam Deck, which is only slightly bigger than the Game Gear was itself.
Yeah. The screen's a lot bigger than the Game Gear was. Though.
Oh yeah.
But the device,
well, the screen on the Steam Deck, at least one that Steam Deck that I had, would probably be about, I don't know, 2/3 of the Game Gear itself. I think.
So I know, like we kind of okay. I talked at some point this week. I said I thought the graphics were pretty good for this game, but you were like, "Burn in hell," or you said, "Really?" Something like that.
Yeah, like I mean, I didn't have a Game Gear, so like I wasn't sure which system it'd be comparable to.
Right, of course.
But at least the first time I played it, the graphics were very, very grainy. And so to me, it's like I felt like even for an older system, the graphics were not very good. But I think for some reason, like it seemed like it was that opening cutscene that was like very grainy. But then when you actually got into the actual gameplay, it was okay. But yeah, it's like it did kind of throw me off.
Yeah, especially if you don't really know what to compare it to, because it's the same innards as the Master System, right? The Sega's 8-bit television console, basically. It was technically a little more powerful than the NES, but it didn't win out in that little battle. But
is it like a Game Boy Color?
It was more powerful than Game Boy Color. And I thought for an 8-bit game, that the graphics during the gameplay were pretty good. Like, I can't, off the top of my head, think of like an NES game that looks that good. I could be forgetting something. There's a lot of NES games. But there's nothing I can think of because he had, some shading on them and like, but it is very blocky. Like, it's
pretty blocky.
It's pretty blocky. But again, if you're playing on a smaller screen, that's less of an issue. The smaller you get that screen, the less of a problem that becomes. So I thought it looked pretty good for that era. Not good compared to even like a lot of indie games now. I think they usually shoot for a higher graphic level than that for the most part.
As far as replayability goes, I mean, you do have to kind of replace some levels after you beat them to unlock new things. I think once you beat it, you probably don't touch it again.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume.
So here's what I think about this one. So, like, for a Game Gear game, like, if I had a Game Gear back in the day and I had this, I'd be like, this is amazing. Like, the stuff this is doing would have blown my freaking mind.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I agree.
And if you are into collecting Game Gear stuff, or if I was going to collect Game Gear stuff, it's definitely one that I'd want in my library because I think it's probably one of the more impressive games.
Or Sonic or stuff in general.
Yeah, or Sonic. Yeah, it's one of the more impressive games I think probably on the system in terms of what all it does. I'm not talking about graphics, but what all you can do in the game. It's cool, but there's a lot more games in that genre now. There's a lot more games in that genre now. Tons of them. Like, you go on Steam, you can probably find like 1,000 Metroidvanias at this point.
Well, we mentioned it.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight, Silk Song's about to come out. And
even if you want to stay pretty retro, the first Metroid, but Super Metroid on Super Nintendo, better. Then you get to Castlevania Symphony of the Night on PlayStation, and it just keeps going from there. They're just the same idea, and you could end up with the same frustrations where, like, I don't know for sure where I'm supposed to go. I know I did that in Castlevania Symphony of the Night a lot, but they're just better overall. And in that game specifically, Castlevania is like, if you don't know where to go and you're running around looking, at least you can kill things and get experience and get more powerful. So it doesn't feel like a waste of time that you're running around doing something when you're not sure what to do. Like, you're at least getting something out of that deal. This one is just like, it's frustrating.
Well, did you notice some enemies gave you coins, not all enemies?
Yeah, it's pretty random.
So, yeah.
And I think there's an item that ups the chance of them giving you those too. I don't know. I could be wrong. I didn't get that either. So
I was like, I feel like if you are trying to collect Game Gear stuff or Sonic stuff, then yeah, it's a game that you could add to your collection. Or if you have nostalgia for this game, it would be good. As someone that didn't play Game Gear stuff, I didn't play Sonic back in the day either. I didn't play any Sega stuff, so I don't have the nostalgia for this kind of games. And so for me, it was just not in my wheelhouse at all. So
yeah. I think the biggest downside of Game Gear games is a lot of them were on the regular Sega, if I recall. I know that we were talking about this one did not go out for the regular Sega. So if you did want to play this game, this would be well, you said you can unlock it, some other ones.
Yeah,
but pretty much.
Yeah,
if you wanted to buy this game, just this game, it would be for the Game Gear.
Yeah. exactly.
I'd be curious to hear how much it is.
Oh, you just wait.
If it would be worth it or not to recommend, because it seems long and short at the same time.
Yeah. I do think some people probably really like, if you really, really, really like kind of brain burn, like I have to figure out where to go, and that kind of thing is like super, super your jam, maybe you dig this. I just think you don't have to go too far in the future from this game to find better, similar types of games, personally. And even if you like Sonic the Hedgehog, this does not play like any other Sonic game, so it's not like, you're not getting more of Sonic, but it's with Tails, it's a very different type of game, even though in screenshots it might look similar. It's very much not.
Yeah, it's not a game that I would gravitate towards, for sure.
Okay, but let's talk about what you can expect to pay if you did gravitate toward this. If you have a Game Gear, you're trying to collect Game Gear, you're trying to get all the Sonic, whatever it might be. If you wanted just the cartridge, that would set you back a measly $59.
What? That's like how much a game costs now.
Yep. If you wanted it complete, $596.
Oh my god! It's because it's Tails. It's a Sonic game. It only came out for this. That's the only reason.
The good news, if you want to strike that, that'll only add about $90 to that cost, being $683.
That's not bad.
Yeah, $90 for that, no problem. I can look. I don't know. I assume this is at the end of the Game Gear's lifespan, so I'm betting they didn't publish that many copies. Probably not that many people were still even buying the games, so there probably aren't that many circulating. And it is now retrospectively looked at as sort of like a hidden gem on the system. That's a big combination for things suddenly being real expensive. So I'm guessing that's
the
what it is.
IP.
And the IP, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a known thing. It's not like just some random mascot character that no one's heard of. So all of that combined,
$600.
And that being said, it's still, I think it's relevant. We're talking about just collectors now, because there's so many other ways that have come out to play it that are probably cheaper. I've looked up how much it costs to get the Sonic Gems collection or whatever, but I don't think it's anything like that. So if you just want to play the game, you don't have to go this route, and you can see it on probably a better screen than your Game Gear.
I mean, you could buy a Steam Deck, emulate the game cheaper than getting it with the box.
Like, even if you just want the Steam Deck just for Tails Adventure, it's still honestly you're weird. But this is pretty
cheaper.
It's cheaper. It's a pretty good deal. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's neat in retrospect. If I go in my Wayback Machine in my brain, yeah, it's neat at that time.
Right.
Now,
I don't think it holds up.
I think I'm done. I don't need to play anymore.
I don't think it holds up. And for $60,
I am legitimately glad I played it, because it is interesting in the Sonic universe.
I probably never would have touched it if it didn't.
No, I wouldn't have either. But yeah, I got to the part. It's like, you know what? I just don't think I'm going to keep playing it. I just don't. So yeah, that's about it. But if you're collecting with a lot of cash, hey, go for it. Go crazy. All right, so now let's see what one of the kids thought about this. We got one of them to play it, so we'll go for Kids Corner.
Hi, we're back in the Kids Corner, and we're talking about Tails Adventure for the Sega Game Gear, and we're here with Vinny. Vinny, what have you been playing over the last week?
I played, trying to 100% Mario 3D World. Managed to save the third kid in 99 Nights in the Forest on Roblox. Lots of Roblox, by the way. And today I played a little bit of Minecraft, one round of Smash Bros. Ultimate, and
Mario Party Jamboree?
Yeah.
Didn't you get a new PR on your 99 Nights? PR, yeah, personal record.
I used to have 25 days, and then yesterday the new record was 30, but today I made it to like day 44.
Wow, good job.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, what did you think about Tails Adventure?
It was hard, but it was really fun.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Sonic? The Sonic franchise, I guess?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think you said it was hard, but fun. What did you find hard about the game?
That you have like 10 rings, and the 10 rings are like your lives, but they don't go down one by one.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like some hits are worth more rings than others.
And also, in the normal Sonic games, you can like pick back up your rings, but in that one you can't.
Yeah. What did you find fun about the game?
That you can throw bombs.
Yeah. Did you get to any other power-ups in the game?
Power up.
Yeah, there were different power-ups. How far did you make it in the game? Because I didn't watch you play the game, and you didn't tell me anything until we got here. So.
I only made it past like this bit on level 2.
Oh, okay. The Volcano one?
No, it's on level 2 where
The second portion.
Yeah,
of
I
the
only
first
made it
level.
like this far.
Gotcha. And then you played it on the big screen, and it was originally made for the Game Gear. Are you familiar with what the Game Gear was?
Itty bitty.
Not itty bitty. It was pretty big and chunky for its time.
The screen is pretty tiny, though, right? Like, wasn't the screen like?
I thought it was slightly bigger than a Game Boy,
Yeah,
if I recall. So playing it on the big screen definitely had different graphics. What did you think of the graphics on the big screen?
It was like the old Sonic games graphics. So I'm familiar with those graphics.
Gotcha. Would you recommend this game to other people?
Yes. Can I tell you something that I do not like about it?
Yeah.
I didn't like that you couldn't throw bombs straight up. And I also didn't like that there's only one type of enemy.
Yeah. I think it's the floating thing that shoots out of its... It's like a bird.
Yeah.
It's bird like flying.
That's blue.
Machines.
Robot.
Yeah.
What do you think about replayability? Would you play this game again? No. As far as replayability, probably just if you did play it all the way through, you'd be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add? No? All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. All right, so it looks like it's time to figure out what we're going to be playing next time. So what we pulled on our system, etc., randomization last time was a fantasy-themed Neo Geo system game. Now, Neo Geo system because it could be the Neo Geo, it could be the Neo Geo CD, or the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So anything from there that's fantasy-themed. I thought there'd be a lot more of them than there actually were. It was a little more limited than I thought, but we got some. It's good. Some of them may push that the definition of fantasy a little bit. I don't know, but regardless, we do have some possible choices here. So, do you want to go first, Hilary? What games did you bring first to randomize?
Sure. So this week picks I brought Twinkle Star Sprites, Biomotor Huteson, and Magical Drop 3.
Nice.
Interesting.
Is
Do you
there
know
anything-
anything about those?
Twinkle Star Sprites was kind of my I'm not sure game because it's a little bit more like a shoot 'em up. And after our last shoot 'em up, I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little nervous about shoot 'em ups right now.
It's real different. It's not like D-Force.
Yeah.
It's not like most other... It's a shooter for sure, but it's weird.
Yeah.
There's some weird things that are not necessarily bad, but I think it's like you'll like it or you won't.
Yeah, so that was kind of my unsure pick. Biomotor Unitron, it was kind of like a little bit like a RPG. And then the Magical Drop 3, it's a puzzler, so.
Right on. Interesting. All right, Steve, what did you bring for us to randomize?
So I did not have the Neo Geo. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like. I just looked at names of games and pictures of the box. If they seemed like it would be a fantasy theme, I picked it.
Good enough.
Yeah, there were not many games to go off in general.
Yeah.
I think. So I got Nightmares in the Dark. It looks like a pretty decent horror fantasy type game.
Mm-hmm.
Magician Lord. I mean, that's a fancy name. Magician Lord. And it had like a magician on the front of like on top of a mountain or something.
You're just pulling rabbits out of hat.
And then the one that I actually did see like some pictures of gameplay. So I don't know which one's going to be the bad one. The fact that I had never even heard of this system, they're probably all bad, is called Crossed Swords.
Mm-hmm.
And what was interesting about this game is you're sword fighting, but it described it as like Tyson's Punch-Out, where you're going straight ahead and sword fighting people, but you can kind of see through yourself like you can in the Punch-Out type games.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I played that one. We'll talk a little bit more when we do that episode about the Neo Geo and why, unless you or friends you knew lived in a real nice neighborhood, you didn't know anyone had this. So the games I brought, I also brought Biomotor Unitron. I actually had this on the Neo Geo Pocket Color back in the day. It always struck me as being Pokemon, but with like mech parts instead of cute animals. And then you're taking your mech and you're going to dungeons and fighting monsters. It's weird. It's like sci-fi fantasy, like Final Fantasy actually, but it doesn't play like these. Anyway, it's good. I enjoyed it back in the day. Another pick is The Last Blade 2. So this is a fighting game. It's kind of like ancient Japan, but people have weird magical abilities. This is apparently considered to be one of the better fighters on a system that is loaded with fighters, but it's not one of the ones that people talk about it as much. So it's a little bit kind of hidden gem unless you're like a super Neo Geo in the know person, it sounds like. I tried it just a little bit, but it's interesting.
I almost picked that one. I
Yeah.
don't really want to fight it. So.
That's fair. Then the pick I'm not sure about, oh boy, here we go. It is called Shinsetsu Samurai Spirit Bushido Retsuden, also known as Samurai Showdown RPG. So this is an RPG based off their Samurai Showdown fighting game series. This is for the Neo Geo CD. It only came out in Japan, but there's a fan translation that seems to work well. I don't know if this is bad. I just remember a long time ago I heard it existed, and I heard nothing about it ever since. And I feel like I had my ear to the ground about RPGs enough that if it was like awe-inspiring, at least, I would know something about it. But I'm curious. It could be interesting. There's cool characters in Samurai Showdown, at least, so yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect. It's odd because this is probably the only RPG across those systems, because almost every other game except for the Pocket one, are arcade games. And I guarantee you there's not an arcade RPG that plays for 20 hours or whatever it is. Okay, so get to the point where we can throw a vote behind one of these to give it a better chance in the randomizer. Hilary, which one do you want to vote for?
I'm gonna go with the Biomotor or the
Biomotor Unitron?
yes.
Biomotor Unitron. Okay. Steve.
God. Oh, they all sound great. We'll do Nightmares in the Dark.
Okay. Part of me wants to pick The Last Blade 2 because I know it has like a hardcore following, but also I know that I'm not like a tournament fighter kind of fighting game player, so I'll only disappoint them. So I think instead of that, I'm also going to go for Biomotor Unitron because I actually think all of us will dig that. And it'd be kind of interesting for people who don't know about it because you may or may not know
So
the
it's
Neo
like
Geo
Pokemon?
Pocket. Sorta. I mean, that's a
Change
little
mine
bit of a
to that.
switch. What?
Just change
You want to change yours? That
Yeah.
okay? I don't want to like disappoint. It's not
I
quite
don't think-
Pokemon, but it had like some aspects that kind of made me think of it.
We don't have anybody.
Okay, so for some reason both of
I
yours.
don't think he'll understand it.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. So let's find out what we're gonna get here. Aha! We did not get Biomotor Unitron. And the game we got, published by ADK in 1996. It's a bright and cheerful duel where colorful projectiles fill the screen. But don't be fooled by the cute exterior. Behind the smiles is a contest that grows chaotic fast. Fantasy, but wrapped in bubblegum. It's Twinkle Star Sprites. This is going to be a weird one. I will tell you a little bit
You
what
said it's like a shoot 'em up?
Yeah, so you know how like when you play Tetris 2-player, right? You got like your two screens next to each other, and then you might clear stuff and it'll go over to them, right?
Okay.
Now imagine each of those things, instead of being Tetris, is a shoot 'em up. And when you shoot certain combos, it sends enemies over to your opponent, making it harder for them. So you're competing, and you're screwing each other over, but it's still a shoot 'em up.
So is it actually a 2-player game, or is it
Yes.
just playing against
you
the
can. Well, you
computer?
can both.
Okay.
Either way. So it's weird. It's interesting. It's very unique. It's like I think it's you either gonna dig it or you're not, and it'll be interesting to see where we land on that. All right, so we're going to be playing Twinkle Star Sprites for the next week or so, but we have to figure out what type of game we're going to be playing next.
My phone.
Before we realized that it was not recording, we randomized the system and we got the Game Boy Advance. So now we have to figure out what type of game on the Game Boy Advance we're going to be playing. 10. Adventure games, okay.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Yeah,
That is on my list.
that's pretty broad because it could, I mean, but it could be an action type game. It could be an RPG. I mean, a lot of things fall into that mold. So we have a lot of great choices on that system. I'm pretty happy with this one. It's a lot easier than some
Give me
other
all
things.
three right now.
Are you ready? So I'm bringing next week to the. No, I don't. I'm not. I have some in mind, but I want to look at them all and see if there's something that I'm forgetting because I'm certain there is. You want to play another Klonoa game? No, not for a long time. We're good. I mean, I liked it, but anyway. So that's what we're going to be doing. An adventure Game Boy Advance game next time. Ooh, this is going to be good stuff. I can feel it in my bones, and then we're going to roll at the bad ones. That could happen, but we'll see. So that's what's going to be next time. So tune in for that. Tune in to hear about Twinkle Star Sprites, a little bit about the Neo Geo. If you don't know about it, it's shocking, some of it, but we'll find out about it. So anything else, you guys?
I'm good.
Good?
Good.
All right. I guess that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Well, I'm back. Did I miss anything important? No, of course I did.